Good afternoon. Hello?
Hi.
We can hear you.
Technical issues at my end. All right. I will call this audit committee meeting for April 16th to order, and roll call members of the committee. Councillor Knack as vice chair. I see you there.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Councillor Cartmel.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Councillor Essinger.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Councillor Nicol.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And I see Mr. Burrows.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And do we have Mr. Edmondson? Oh, he just joined. Owen, are you there? Okay, well, we'll check back in with him in a moment. That's enough to get started. So we've got an agenda before us. I need a motion to adopt it. Councillor Essinger.
I'm happy to move the adoption of today's agenda with the addition of 6.8.
Great, thank you. Any questions on that? Not seeing any. Then please vote on the adoption of the agenda.
We're just waiting for Mr. Edmondson's vote, and yours as well, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I'm getting the spinning wheel here. I'm a yes.
I'm here, yes. Sorry for the delay.
No worries.
Oh,
We have the votes, thank you.
Okay, I was able to submit electronically there. Display the vote. Carried unanimously. And the minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll move the adoption of the meeting minutes from the February 11th, 2021 Audit Committee meeting.
Thank you. Any questions, concerns, errors, or omissions with the minutes? Not seeing any. Please vote.
We're just waiting for your vote, Mr. Mayor.
It's not coming up. I'm a yes, though.
Thank you.
Display the vote. Carried. Protocol items. Don't think we have any today. So we will now move into selection of items for debate. If there are no selections, then you can have your afternoon back here. Councillor Knack.
Well, let me click in, Mr. Mayor. So maybe that was a sign they didn't want any. We just want to go enjoy the afternoon, but too bad. I'm selecting a few items. I'm going to select item, I guess, 6263, the follow-up dashboard report, 6465 and 6667.
Okay, noted. Anybody want 6-1? Not seeing any.
I'll move the balance, Mr. Mayor.
Or 6-8 and 6-9 for that matter. Sorry,
Mr. Mayor, I would like to select 6-8.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 6-8 and 6-9.
6-8 and 6-9. Okay, so then Councillor Nicol, your motion would be item 6-1, the annual report.
Yeah, all that's left.
Thank you. So that's before us, and I'll just speak to this very, very briefly to acknowledge that this is the last annual report. We'll start to see some lasts from Mr. Ewan and his team, but I think the fact that there's no discussion on it shouldn't be taken as anything other than the highest praise on another year's work, but under especially challenging circumstances. And I know that you, like me, have often been the only person in a large office that often has, you know, a dozen people running to and fro outside of pandemic circumstances, and that's been challenging for you and your team, and yet you've persevered through this. So I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Ewan and to your team for your efforts over the past year as codified in the annual report. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I deeply appreciate that.
Anyone else? Seeing none, please vote on receipt of information of 6.1.
Not coming up, I vote yes.
Oh, okay, it's a little slow, but it came up for me here, so.
We're just waiting for Mr. Edmondson's vote.
He voted
I vote
yes
yes.
verbally.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Display the vote. Carried unanimously. All right, so the first item up then is the dashboard. Did you want a presentation, Councillor Knack, or straight to questions?
Straight to questions, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. And actually, I guess the question is more to admin. The last recommendation in their response was the one that's been 16 months overdue, had a revised due date of January 31st. The report, the admin response shows March 31st, and I just want to double check that is now done since we're past March 31st. So did that get done?
So, Councillor Knack, are you talking about the revenue management audit, recommendation 5?
Correct.
So
Correct.
we have been provided some additional information on the catalog, and we are reviewing that and working with the administration, and I believe that is getting very close to being closed.
Okay, good. It just, I know admin's response showed that they had an updated revised due date of about 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to make sure it's not reflected in the main report. It was reflected here, and we're 2 weeks past that, so I figured I'd ask the question. But it sounds like we're pretty much there, but not 100% officially to where we can remove it off that report. So that's fine. I just wanted to make sure, get a sense of that, since that one was sitting there for some time. Mr. Mayor, I can move the recommendations. I think it's just receive for information for both.
Yep. I'll just check to see if there are any other questions. Not seeing any, then please vote on receipt of information of 6.2 and 6.3.
Again, not coming up, I'll vote yes.
Thanks, Mr. Edmondson. Just came up for me finally, so.
Me too.
We have the votes. Thank you.
Display the vote, please. Carried. Next, then, is the real estate branch audit.
So, Mr. Mayor, I have just a few opening remarks, and then I believe that there might be a presentation from administration. The real estate branch is a part of the Financial and Corporate Services Department and provides real estate and land development expertise to manage corporate real estate assets. They assist the city with planning and development, land acquisition and sales, real estate inventory and governance, appraisals, leasing, and property management. The real estate branch audit report provides an assessment of 3 objectives related to the branch. First, if the branch is effectively managing city property. Second, if the city's land inventory database is effectively administered. And third, if the branch is effectively and efficiently managing the city's surplus property holdings. Although we did not see specific evidence of issues resulting from the management of city property, we have highlighted areas that should be improved upon in order to make operations more effective. We made recommendations to improve role clarity and consistency of property managers. the need to standardize requirements relating to performing and documenting lease creation activities, the development of performance measures for the goals of each service area, improving the documentation around processes used to manage the land inventory database, and to produce an annual report of the city's land holdings as outlined in the land management guidelines. We appreciated the assistance of staff members within the branch, and I'll pass it to Ms. Pearson and Mr. Hodgson if they have any remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Boone. Your worship, we do have a presentation available if the committee wishes.
Mr. Mayor, I only have one question, so I don't need a presentation unless other committee members would like one.
Does anybody else want the presentation? No? Okay, then we can go straight to questions. Go ahead, Councillor Knack.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thanks for that. I just overall, it's obviously generally pretty good. There's some things to change. The one thing I wanted to ask is a bit about recommendation 3, though, and specifically when it comes to the response, it talked about how enterprise performance measurement was paused in the department due to COVID-19, and additionally in the real estate branch as a result of understandably very challenging decisions that had to be made at a very unique time. I guess what I was just wanting to confirm is that it felt like the way I read that, it sounded like that there's almost somebody who's dedicated to performance measurement versus performance measurement being built into everything that we do. And it feels like it's also something we should be doing, especially during an emergency, to help make sure we're reacting appropriately. So I'm guessing that's not the case, but the way the recommendation was written made it sound like that, oh, we didn't have anyone to deploy to measuring enterprise performance, therefore we didn't do it. So can someone just explain that a little bit to me?
So Councillor Knack, you made some really good points. To answer your question, there was a reallocation of resources within our branch to redeploy to support other initiatives. I think how I would describe it is that there is a ton of data that is used to support the decisions that are made within our branch. We trend an awful lot of information, and certainly that continued throughout the pandemic. I think where we would see that the recommendation and our response to it is more around the formalization of some of that work and the alignment with some of the corporate initiatives that had been initiated back in 2019. We'll be reinitiating some of that as part of the response to this as well, just with the improved resourcing and the shift in terms of our approach on the corporate strategy transformation project that was initiated from more of the corporate perspective. So you're absolutely right. We have continued to track data. We do have information available. It's just formalizing that in a more meaningful way that aligns with what we wanted to do corporately.
Okay, that's helpful. I figured that was the case, but just the way it was written didn't make it sound exactly like that. So, and then the other piece, though, because I think when I consider that work, that is still important to be doing, even when we're dealing in a very unique time. So, I just want to ask, maybe more generally, whether it's here and maybe more broadly throughout the organization. Hopefully, we don't have another pandemic like this, but there might be another unexpected thing that comes up 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now, and our ability to make sure we're still trying to measure those different things that are happening within an organization and in this branch in particular, so that we're not almost feeling like we're dataless for whatever that period of time is that something unique might come up.
And Councillor Knack, before the administration answers that, I guess as you would be aware, we have spent a fair amount of time working with the administration over the last 4 or 5 years on their performance measurement framework, and actually had probably 2 or 3 reports a year looking at certain measures that were being developed, and we will continue to do that with this audit, making sure that the measures are relevant and sufficient. So I believe that the enterprise performance measurement framework is something that the administration is taken seriously, and we have reached out to ELT in basically saying that if they need any assistance and advisory services, we are there for them as well.
That's great. Thank you. Yeah, no, those are all my questions, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Essinger is next.
Thank you. My question is about recommendation number 5, and there was an expectation that an annual report would have been done in 2020, but it did not happen, and it won't happen now through the recommendation till 2022. Could you speak to why?
Councillor Essinger, the report that's referenced within the recommendation is really an internal management tool. Where we focused our efforts as part of the land management framework was around ensuring that we had the proper process and framework set up to support the cultural shift that we had internally within regard to our land management. What we've done to support that is built somewhat of a spatial tool that allows for groups to internally take a look at the surplus lands that are available within our inventory. We had prioritized that work over the land holding status report. We had always anticipated that would form part of our package that would come forward and be a priority for us. It was just, again, it's a period of time where decisions were made around the resources that we had available to us in a challenging period of time. And we prioritize the practical application tool over that the governance tool. We fully anticipate that the governance tool will be built out, and great efforts have been made towards completing that. It just isn't ready quite yet.
And Councillor Essinger, I'll echo what Mr. Hodgson said. And add on that this basically is to be in compliance with the land management guidelines that were approved in 2018, and it's to be of assistance to all city departments so that they can regularly review all the inventory and annual reporting of land assets and help with any corporate decision making that needs to take place. So we've discussed that with Chris and his staff and believe that will be ongoing after this year.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No further questions.
Thank you. Would you care to move the recommendation?
I'd be happy to.
Great, thank you. Any further debate on this? Seeing any, then please vote on receipt of information, and we'll cross-reference, obviously, so it would be 6.4 and 6.5.
I vote yes.
Okay, we're just
I
waiting.
vote yes as well.
We have the votes. Thank you.
Play the vote. Carried. Okay, next is the open space asset transfer audit. Mr. Ewan.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, again, some very, very brief remarks. The City of Edmonton is responsible for maintaining all open space assets transferred into its inventory from city-built and developer projects. These open space assets include horticulture, park furniture, park access, playgrounds, and sports fields. The purpose of this audit was to review the effectiveness of the process to accept and transfer open space assets to Parks and Road Services for ongoing maintenance. We determined that the process is effective, with 3 city departments all understanding the role to inspect, communicate, and record the transfer of open space assets. The number of new projects identified with quality issues has decreased in the last 3 years. Additionally, the percentage of deficiency cost to acquisition value has also been decreasing. We made 3 recommendations to improve the effectiveness of the process. These included formalizing the process to document inspections to ensure that information is complete and all deficiencies are compiled and addressed, establishing a formal process to ensure city operations, Parks and Road Services branch is informed of and has the opportunity to attend all open space asset construction completion certificates and final acceptance certificates inspections, and formalizing the process to input open space assets into the land inventory management system to ensure Parks and Road Services is receiving complete information on a timely basis. We thank the staff in the Integrated Infrastructure Services in the Urban Form and Corporate Strategic Development departments, as well as Parks and Road Services branch for their cooperation and openness in this audit.
Thank you. And are there comments from administration?
Yes, thanks, Mr. Mayor. It's Craig Waldman. I'm the branch manager of Building Great Neighborhoods with the Open Space portfolio. And I just wanted to echo Mr. Yoon's comments. We'd like to thank the city auditor for this review. And the three recommendations are agreed with from administration, and they align well with the continuation of integration work on the planning, scheduling, and construction accountabilities that the departments have been working on and undertaking. One example just of this is to share is since January 2020, the Building Great Neighborhoods and Parks and Roads branches have intentionally had the right employees meeting monthly to work on role definitions, accountabilities, and getting better at how we do construction projects together. This has built credibility around interaction of improving role clarity and is helping strengthen the working relationships between the two areas. We look forward to the implementation of the recommendations, and we appreciate the auditor's work on this. And that's it from administration.
Oh, the system works. Councillor Knack, you had questions though? Go ahead.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There were a few questions. On recommendation 1, I couldn't quite gather, and I realize maybe it's getting a little into the weeds, and ultimately the audit team will verify at the end, but I wasn't really sure what recommendation 1 looks like in practice. Usually there's a lot more detail, and there wasn't a ton there to help me understand what's actually going to happen over the next 8 months.
So, Councillor Knack, what we saw that there were some differences in terms of how the various inspectors were documenting the inspections, and the bottom line is, without good documentation and without making sure that all deficiencies are noted, they may not be repaired. So what we want is a bit more consistency and clarity around how those deficiencies are documented to make sure that they will be, first of all, corrected and then maintained afterwards.
Mm-hmm. And I'll maybe, Councillor Knack, maybe I'll ask Ms. Wolf and Mr. Wong to add more context to that as well. You're on mute, Nicole. I had to say it once this week. So.
That's good. Thank you, Craig. From an IIS perspective, what this looks like is updating our forms for our inspections to be consistent and having guidelines associated to how to fill them out. They are outdated currently and not necessarily representative of the types of inspections and the pieces of inspections that we are actually doing. So it's going to be a more likely electronic format where it's easily fed in, and it's going to have all of the same levels of detail associated to it, from who's attended it to who's signed off on it to how deficiencies are photographed, understood, and then at the end corrected fundamentally. So that's what it will look like going forward from an IIS perspective.
Appreciate that.
And just to,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Clarence here from UFCSD. Just to add to that, it will also include a more consistent approach across all three departments in terms of how we facilitate and hand over that infrastructure to city operations.
Great, thank you. I also have a question about recommendation 3, and again, maybe just the way I read it, but when it talks about formalizing a process to input this information into the system, I'm just double checking that when I saw the date to finish implementing that, which is about, well, a little over 1.5 years, it felt like a long process to essentially just formalize a process. So again, maybe misreading it and maybe unfairly reading it as it's written there. But I'm just wondering if someone could elaborate a little bit as to what that might look like and then why it would take as long as it is to actually complete that recommendation.
So I can start with an answer, and Mr. Simpson or Mr. Kennedy can add to context to it. But the timeline on this was to implement the system, integrate it in, monitor it, and kind of ensure that it's happening. So it wasn't meant to infer that we're going to spend 2 years creating a system. We're actually going to test the system too and make sure it's working well. That's part of what the timeline is.
Wonderful. That helps there. The last question I have is maybe a little specific, but I think this falls into the maintenance side of these conversations, and it's just one of those things that I have forever been interested in. And so we're talking about this data, getting it into our inventory so that we know how we're supposed to maintain. I'm still over time been trying to find ways to like access even just clear maps that show what we're responsible for or what we're not. And this applies probably more so in new neighborhoods, but even in our existing areas, what we maintain and what we don't, and to what standard. So I've asked about that in the past, and to this day, I still feel like I don't really have any way to get that data. Like if there's a trail in an area that we're responsible for, I have no idea to what level, how we're supposed to maintain it at. And I'm wondering if some of this work will get us to that point where it would be easy to say, hey, I'd like to request the map for community X and what we're responsible for and how we maintain it. Is that something I can expect coming out of this? Because it's something I'm missing.
So, Councillor Knack, I'll let administration, but I believe that's part of the information that should be included in the SLIM system. So once it's finalized, you should be able to get access to maps. Obviously, you'd probably have to work through administration to get it, but I'll let Mr. Walber and his team answer that. But I believe that's some of the information that should be in SLIM.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yes, Councillor Knack, Brian Simpson here. That's correct. Through SLIM would be the process. There is work to be done on that, obviously, but there is an understanding and a need to get that addressed, and we are working towards that goal. I don't know, Travis, if you want to add any more to that, but we are, paying attention to this particular area.
Yeah, just to say that most of the open space assets do have service levels assigned in our internal facing SLIM mapping. Some of that is available on open data as well. Last summer, we had a turf service level map that was published openly for people to look into. I don't think we're fully operational in terms of a public-facing service level map, but internally that is listed in our SLIM geo media, so we could make that available.
Okay, I'm out of time. I might just want to close the loop on that if there's nobody else, Mr. Mayor.
I don't see anyone else on the board. Are there any other questions? Okay, go ahead on the second round, Councillor.
Thank you. Yeah, and so just to close the loop, and I forgive me for constantly nagging about this one, but so what I want to ultimately know is that through this work, through this audit, are we going to get to a point where it would be easily accessible for any Edmontonian to pull up a map of their community to see, oh, this is a trail that runs through Park X. The city doesn't actually maintain that throughout the winter, or the city maintains that one, but it's lower on the priority list than this one, which is running along an arterial road. And I ask because it's one of the most requested things I get, and I often feel like I'm struggling to properly respond. And I think that would solve a lot of even like 311 calls through our offices, and I think it'd make your life easier too, so that you don't have me constantly nagging to say, hey, what's the standard on this?
I can try and take a first cut at that, Councillor Knack. I think the focus of this audit, specific to recommendation 3, was to make sure that internally we have a good awareness and system, so that when we're done a project, operation knows when it's coming on stream for them, so that they can have a really good maintenance schedule and can really look at what is that system that they need to maintain. So the audit scope is that. I think your questions around how do we translate that into public facing is outside of the audit scope. But I think us getting better at operations, getting good current information can help that. And I think that's what Travis wasn't referring to.
Councillor Knack, it's Mary Pearson. We actually are working on a project, and you'll see some presentations on how we are getting some a project getting going with. Mr. Corbett's online. He can talk about it because we're doing it for him.
Yeah, thanks, Mary. Councillor Knack, in fact, I'm going to brief council at my final transition briefing, in fact, next week on this, and just show you the path forward on all this data and how it's going to be integrated. It's quite complex path forward, but we've got it kind of mapped out and don't have strict timings yet. But to answer your question more succinctly, I don't think what you're after is going to come out of the work in this audit, like Craig mentioned, but it is going to come, and I'm going to present the path forward for that as part of the work forward plan post-transition.
Perfect. So since it's not specific to this audit, I'll leave it there and look forward to the next chat about that. So that's it for me, Mr. Mayor. I can move the recommendations for both items.
Sure. The motion is accepted. Are there any comments on the motion? Not seeing any. Please vote.
Again, I vote yes.
We have the votes. Thank you.
Display the vote, please. Carried. And last but not least, then, are the consolidated financial statements and audit findings report. Mr. Edmondson had selected these ones for questions, but I'll check to see, is there a presentation on this?
Mr. Mayor, we have a short presentation if required. If not, we can go straight to questions.
Well, Mr. Edmondson,
They're looking for a presentation on for me, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple of questions for the auditor, KPMG, and other than that, I'm fine.
Okay. Did anybody else want the presentation? Not seeing or hearing any, then go ahead with your questions, Mr. Edmondson.
So this audit in the 2020 statements had some unique situation, obviously, with the pandemic and with the change of a few faces at the higher levels of the organization. And I'm just wondering if the KPMG would like to comment on the level of cooperation, the level of complexity of the audit this year and as compared to previous years.
Thank you very much. It's Robert Borelli. I'm the lead engagement partner on the City of Edmonton audit. And throughout the course of the audit, we had the full cooperation of administration. This year was a bit unique because of the pandemic in that the entire audit was conducted remotely. As a result of that, we changed in how we kind of worked with administration to get the work done. And with the help of administration, we were able to report and meet our original timelines. Last year, we did half the audit remotely, but this year we did the entire audit remotely, which resulted in us looking at kind of re-reviewing the risks of the audit because of the pandemic, the disclosures in the statements, and any other additional items that were impacted by the pandemic. And we didn't identify any significant matters to note. And the cooperation was, it was a very robust team. And there were some changes on the City of Edmonton team. And it actually worked well, which speaks to the depth and expertise within that department.
Good, thank you. I expected that was the result. Further to this, generally when the auditor presents the financial statements to a corporation board, there is a opportunity for the audit committee to go in camera with the auditor and have any kind of disclosure of any unusual
situations that they may be uncomfortable with disclosing in front of management. Obviously, we don't have that opportunity. This is all done in public. Thereby, the onus is put upon the auditor to initiate if there is anything in particular they wanted to raise. My question is to you is, who would you contact if there was a specific issue that arose that you just didn't feel comfortable discussing in a public setting? Who would you contact?
I would contact the chair of the audit committee, which in this case would be the mayor, and I'd ask for an audience with the audit committee to discuss that in private.
Okay, so you are aware, and you would that's the course of action you would take.
Yes, that's the course of action I take, and thankfully this year we didn't identify any matters that would necessitate that, so we're in a good place.
My final question is a question that you may have heard me ask before at this session when we review the financial statements. In the course of your audit or other examination of the city's financial records, has anything come to your attention that you have not displayed in the written report in front of us today?
Based on the procedures we undertook, all the items that we identified are in our report, and there's no additional items to report to the audit committee.
Thank you. Those are all my questions, Mr. Mayor.
Due diligence having been concluded, I don't see any other questions. Thank you for covering that off for us, Mr. Edmondson. If there are no other questions for KPMG or for Ms. Pearson, then Mr. Edmondson, would you like to move the two reports and the approval of the statements?
I'd be happy to move, recommending to the council.
Thank you. Maybe I'll just say a version of what I said earlier to Mr. Ewan, that Mr. Borelli, to you and your team, and to Ms. Pearson, whose team is also somewhat distributed in these times, doing this under these circumstances and maintaining the high standards of professional accountability that each of you involved in this process must have been challenging. And so just thank you for your attention to this and your support and assistance for the city in this important accountability function. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments? Are we receiving both for information, or are we recommending one up to, I think council needs to approve the statements, right?
We're recommending 6-8 to council.
6-8 goes to council, 6-9 is the receipt for information, right? Okay, and that's, we've got both motions before us here. So omnibus 6-8 and 6-9 recommendations, please vote.
I vote yes.
We have the votes. Thank you.
Display the vote. Carried. I believe that is our business, save calling for notices of motion which never come at this committee. Are there any? Just to keep it live? No? Okay. Then this meeting of the audit committee is adjourned with thanks to everybody, and go out and enjoy the lovely day. Unless you have